I made a block which uses a for loop actually to remove all of the spaces in some particular sentence that you pass it. And I called it remove spaces in, and this is a variable, sentence. So if I run the thing, you can see I made a variable called sentence. I set sentence to I like pizza, exclamation point, which is true. And then I say the original sentence, and then I say remove spaces in sentence. So this actually runs the block, and the block returns, it reports back the sentence with the spaces removed. So I'll run it, and you can see what happens. So the original sentence, I like pizza, and then after the call to the block, it said, I like pizza without any spaces. So I'll run it again on its own. I'll type in another sentence. So I could say something like, I don't know, I'm writing something else about pizza. Pizza is good. Okay, and you can see there's two spaces, and I'll run it again, and it says pizza is good without any spaces. So let's take a look at this and see if we can figure out what's going on. If I edit this block, I use a for loop, and you're familiar with for loops at this point. So inside this block, I'm passed a variable, and this is, I know, a little confusing to students. The variable out here is called sentence. I'm passing sentence, which in this case is I like pizza. I'm passing that into this block. Inside the block, I happen to be calling that same variable is called string. Well, in computer science, a string often refers to a bunch of letters strung together. That's perhaps why it's called a string. It's a string of letters, a bunch of letters. So this variable string inside here happens to be equal to I like pizza in this particular case. Actually, in the second case, when I ran it, I am setting it equal to pizza is good. I'm passing in that. All right, anyway, inside of this block, I'm creating a new variable called newString, and I'm setting it equal. I know this looks like a blank space, but it's not a blank space. It's actually nothing. That's different than a blank space, right? I did not type anything in there. I did not type a blank. So then I have a for loop that goes, and you've seen this before. I have a for loop for I goes from 1 to the length of the string. This is the length of whatever sentence I'm passing in. So in this case, whatever the length of this is, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, however many letters it is. It goes from 1 to the number of letters in my sentence. And then it says, if letter I of the string is not, notice this not here, if letter I of the string is equal to a blank not, in other words, not equal to a blank, then set newString to join whatever newString used to be plus whatever letter I happen to be currently looking at. This is, I know, a little confusing, but let me just first say this right here, this is an actual blank space. In other words, I put the cursor there and I hit the space bar. So this is a blank space. So it basically is saying if letter I, if some particular letter in the sentence happens to equal a space, not, in other words, if it's not a space, then take that letter and add it to this new string. So in other words, everything that's not a space gets added to this new string. So I, well, that's not a space, so I'll take I, add it to the new string. Blank space. Oh, that is a space, so I'm not going to add it to that new string, and so forth. So I go through the whole sentence, and at the end I report back new string, and so I'll run this again. Pizza is good, no spaces. Hopefully that makes sense to you. This is tricky stuff now, I know, but the next project is going to be something that requires that you actually understand what's going on here. So you might want to take another close look at this. This will give you a good hint on the next project. All right, good luck.